Today, Haulin S-10's gonna tear up the drag strip. First, we'll take a look back at all the work we've done to make this our quickest and fastest project ever. Then we'll shake down our street and strip truck on the 8th mile. And finally, we'll really lean on it to put some big numbers up on the board. That's all today here on Trucks.
Hey, welcome to Trucks. Well, the day has finally come that we get to take our Haulin S-10 project truck out of the shop here and see what it's capable of.
Now, over the course of this season, you've seen us take what was already a pretty quick little V8 S-10 street truck and turn it into the back-halved, blown monster you're looking at now. But in case you haven't kept up with our progress, this will give you an idea how we got here.
We started out with the finished version of Project S-10K, which we'd already converted to V8 power with the help of a GM Performance Crate 350, backed up by a beefed-up 4L60E transmission and stock rear end and gears. Ryan and I decided to wipe the slate clean and take things to the next level, laying out the plans for an ATK-built blower motor up front, complete S&W back half frame section that has a fully adjustable 4-link suspension and QA1 shocks tucked away under the bed.
A lightweight aerospace components brake system provides the stopping power, while a Butler Turbo 400 race prep trans spins a Denny's drive shaft, feeding a narrowed 9-inch Curry-built rear axle with 456 gears and a strange nodular iron center section.
Now up front, we decided to lose the extra weight of the power steering system and installed a Borgeson manual box that's connected to a Flaming River column using Borgeson universal joints and shafts.
From there, we installed an 8-point roll cage, racing seats, new wiring, fuel, and braking systems, as well as a full fire suppression system, fuel cutoff switches, 5-point harnesses, and a boatload of personal safety gear, all from the Summit Racing catalog.
Then I talked Ryan into a little experiment and used him as a guinea pig to show you guys that your very first paint job can turn out great with a little preparation and some basic training.
Now, some of the things you haven't seen us do are these aluminum door panels. Just cut out a flat 20 gauge. We've got a fresh coat of paint on the door jambs and the roll cage, and this Lexan rear window that allowed us to cut out holes for the rear down bars that attach to the frame. And don't forget the full fire suppression system mounted in here behind the seats. It's routed in the cab, engine bay, and out back pointed at the fuel system. And this rear spoiler adds a nice touch too. Not only does it look cool, it'll provide some downforce, helping the rear tires stay planted to the track.
Now the stock hood for this truck is long gone, and even Project S-10K had a stamped steel cowl induction hood, but we saw another weight loss opportunity here. So we called up the guys at Advantage Fiberglass and had them send us one of their ultra lightweight fiberglass flat hoods. Now this whole hood assembly only weighs 10 pounds and is held in place with Zeus fasteners, and you got to admit, this nasty blower sticking out of the giant hole in the hood, well, it doesn't hurt your eyes. Now, since you saw it last, Joe and Mike led us into their shop to strap it down to the chassis dyno for a couple of easy pulls. And it's definitely running good. And most importantly, it's safe. So we've given everything a thorough visual inspection, tech-checked every nut and bolt twice. Now, I think we're finally ready to load this thing onto a trailer, take it to a track, and flog the crap out of it. We really need to dial in the suspension prior to doing any kind of timed runs, just to make sure this thing launches straight. And since you definitely don't want to get caught doing test and tune sessions on public roads, well, we found a great 8th mile track. US 43 Raceway Park in Etheridge, Tennessee.
We're 8th mile facility here. We've had both IHRA and NHRA events here. We've got a nice 3-story timing tower. Got plenty of grandstands with fans, and we've got an excellent track surface. Full 8th mile, 660 feet of concrete. We've had it ground smooth. It's one of the nicest track surfaces in the area.
Now, if you've been around racing long, I'm sure you've heard of SFI. It's a nonprofit organization formed to set safety and quality standards in the aftermarket. Now, if you're building a vehicle to compete at track events, SFI is an excellent resource for everything from safety regulations to chassis specs. Now, for more information on SFI, check out their link on our website, PowerBlockTV.com.
Now, you've heard us call this truck by its project name, Haulin S-10, but check this out. Steve Longacre did the artwork, and with the help of ape wraps, they turned them into decals, which are perfect for this black graphic on the side of the truck. This is going to christen Haulin S-10 for its maiden voyage.
Up next, the guys find out if Haulin S-10's gonna haul. And later, the Go Fast guys are here to help us make all the power we can.
Hey, welcome back. We're out here at US 43 Raceway, getting ready to shake down our Haulin S-10 project. And what we're doing now is basically a test and tune session. So we bought a few things with us, like a basic tool kit, floor jack, jack stand, some extra gas, a fire extinguisher, and a few spare belts. Hopefully everything we need to make some passes all day long.
Now, one of the things we want to determine before we put our truck on the track is our total vehicle weight and corner weight. Now, the intercom scales are telling us we're sitting right about 3,250 pounds total weight with a 58.5 to 41.5% front to rear ratio.
And with a 121-inch wheelbase, that puts our center of gravity about 71 inches in front of the rear axle.
Now, a good rule of thumb is that the center of your vehicle is right about in line where your camshaft is as far as weight goes. So that's going to put us with our vehicle center and center of gravity somewhere in right about there.
Now, another thing we do before we hit the track is check tire pressure. We're going to start the rears at about 13 as a baseline. The fronts, we're going to run them at about 25.
Well, the track's in great shape. It's perfectly clean and ready to go. The biggest obstacle we've got today is this.
I think we picked the hottest day of the year to come out here and run. And even though the humidity's only about 30%, well, the barometer's at 30 and rising, and we're looking at a high of about 105 today, and a track temperature at 136. So we ran down the track at part throttle, just to see how things felt, since this is the first time this truck has been driven, at least in its current form.
Well, it went straight. That's a good thing.
That felt good.
We're gonna uncork this thing, these exhaust cutouts off. We'll let it breathe a little bit better. And check it out. She is running fat. We're leaving power on the table, but we'll take care of that a little bit later.
No, I'll pick up a little bit more speed this time and get a better feel. I'm just taking it easy, step by step.
Well, it sounded strong.
Oh, yeah?
So with the exhaust uncorked, Ryan puts his foot a little deeper into it. Now, he pushed that one a little harder that time, but it still launched straight.
Yeah, I just got on a little harder, give it a little more throttle. It's definitely leaning on that right rear. Oh, yeah.
With our confidence up, Ryan leans into it a little harder, but we can't help but notice the body torquing to the right under load. It looked like he went nice and straight, but it's kicking over to the right a bit, isn't it?
A little bit, maybe a little preload in the suspension, but good and straight run.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, since the right rear was squatting so hard, I went ahead and raised the spring perch, increasing the preload on this right rear corner. Hopefully that'll keep this thing level. Then we're going to take the shock and click it up a couple of notches, see if we can firm it up a little. Kevin was dying for some seat time, so we made a couple of passes while I studied the way the truck reacted.
I'm gonna hit it harder.
It became pretty obvious that we either had a fuel or timing problem, trying to stab the throttle right off the line. Yeah, we'll have to clean it out before we punch it. It fell on his face a little bit, but he's like, hell, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
It was a little squirrely out of the hole. Well, it bogged, and I put it back
Yeah.
to the floor.
I saw your temper flare.
Yeah, I got angry.
truck felt pretty strong all the way through the power band. We were ready to really wring it out.
We still need to tweak on a little bit. It's still kicked over a little bit. I think it might be in the front. Tommy said we need to check the nose.
Oh yeah, cool. Let's do it.
And we noticed the right front was sagging just a little bit too. So we bumped up the spring perch on the shock as well as backed off the dampener to a full zero position. That way our rebound is going to be a bit easier. $788 on the low side, man.
Oh, got a little diesel. 788?
788, dude.
Sweet.
Man, without jetting or without doing a pulley swap, dude, this thing's rocking.
Man, if we can get rid of that bog off the line, get a trans brake in here, this thing's gonna hit hard.
Maybe get a cooler day, too.
Yeah, that wouldn't hurt. That was big fun. Big, big fun.
When we come back, it's time to put up or shut up. Stick around.
Hey, welcome back. It's day 2 here at US 43 Raceway Park, and this time we've got Scott Miller and Mark Johnson from ATK Engines helping us tune the truck for power now that we know it's going to launch straight down the track. And sometimes you actually get what you ask for. We've got a 30-degree cooler day here at the track, so we're going to do an initial run to see what the weather gives us.
Even though we picked up some free ET, that pesky bog was still killing our 60-foot time.
Oh, what do you think the first thing to do is?
Well, I think we need to get the engine speed up a little bit when he launches, for sure. Whether that converter's a little too tight. Sounds like a little lean pop, and getting his shifts down a little bit better, I think it'd pick right up.
Okay, here's the strategy. We're going to do an accelerator pump adjustment and downsize the jet since it's still fat. But we picked up 2 tenths just for the weather.
Since we're running rich, we'll go down to jet size to balance out the rich condition that almost 1,500 CFM of carburetor was giving us. And we tweaked the cams on the accelerator pumps to give us more fuel right off the bat at wide open throttle.
A lot better.
That was a lot better launch, a little bit of wheel spin, but he's getting up on that converter too, isn't he?
Right, yeah. He's getting a little engine RPM right off the line, and I think that's what that needs to get that 60-foot time down. I think you'll be another 2 tenths for sure.
746.
Sweet. That felt a lot better.
Yeah, you're getting up on the converter. It was a little bit of wheel spin that time, so now you're getting into the power band. Okay, a little more air to the tires, maybe a pound or so, get them down to about 9. Heavier squirter, a bit more fuel, we just keep on adjusting. Well, our track temperature now right here in the groove is 10 degrees less than the air temperature was last time we were here. It's only 88 degrees out here. We were wishing for a cooler day. I guess we got our wish granted. So with the track cooler, the tires needed to warm up. Ryan cleaned the tires off and made another full throttle pass with a little less air pressure and a heavier 35,000 squirter cell. Haulin S-10 launches straight as an arrow and has great track manners under full throttle, but we're just not able to give it wide open throttle from a dead stop. With that street strip converter, we're just not going to be able to nail it off the line with that lower stall speed. So
yeah, if I get the R's up and just kind of feather it off there, it still hits pretty hard without dying. So I think we just keep doing that.
We'll blast another run, then we'll swap the pulleys and see what that does.
Make some more boost.
Yeah. Cool.
This is a process of fine-tuning and adjustments to find the best combination for performance, especially with a truck new to the drag strip.
The mile per hour is up. The ET's down a little bit. 60 foot's a little weak. What do you think?
I think we got to try the pulley change.
You're right. Swapping to a larger, lower pulley will give us a slightly overdriven ratio on the blower, spinning it faster and forcing more air into the engine, bringing boost up from 6.5 pounds to 10 pounds total.
Like that pulley change.
Yep, 742.
Sounded good.
Yeah.
Now, since we wanted a true pro street truck, the 456 gears and 2,500 RPM stall converter kinda hurt us on an 8-mile track. But seeing the truck launch time after time all day long and perform flawlessly felt great, and let us know we had a solid platform for the next phase of Haulin S-10.
Yeah, it's not even breaking the tire loose. So that's good.
Hey, welcome back to Trucks, and let me tell you, it's good to be back here in the air-conditioned shop. Well, I know you've heard the rumble of a traditional Flowmaster 40 series muffler. Well, now with their new Super 44 series, you get that same sound and patented Delta Flow technology, along with the new flow path radius, all in a smaller case, which makes this muffler perfect for a street rod or a lower truck or just a vehicle with limited clearance. Sizes start at 2 1/4 and go on up to 3 inches, and they come in this distinctive semi-gloss black finish. Prices for a Flowmaster Super 44 start at about $80 a piece.
For those of you guys out there that want a little more than what a standard cold air kit can offer, check this out. Vararam offers the Hemi under glass for 02 and up Dodge Ram Hemi equipped pickup trucks. It takes styling cues from the original 426 Hemi for the classic Mopar muscle look. And for you guys that want performance numbers, well, according to the manufacturer, if you've got a 2-wheel drive pickup truck, it'll take up to 3/4 of a second off your 0 to 60 time. And for you 4-wheel drive guys, they claim it'll take up to a full second off your 0 to 60. They also guarantee you'll drop 3/10 off your 1/4 mile ET and pick up 3 miles an hour. Vararam's Hemi under glass sells for $4.99. You can pick yours up at summitracing.com. Here's a tip that'll only cost you a few bucks. Now, no matter what kind of truck you drive, you gotta have a good battery. So pick up some battery cleaner with acid neutralizer and some battery terminal protector. With the neutralizer, spray down the surface of the battery and let it soak in. Then, after a few minutes, rinse it with water and wipe dry. Now, for batteries with a lot of corrosion, you may need a wire brush or even a second cleaning. Once it's clean, seal it up with the battery terminal protector. Now, this stuff's a great idea for new batteries too. It prevents this from even happening. Thanks for watching Trucks. See you guys next week.